Now, a lot of Democrats are already saying they don't think the Republicans will extend these pandemic-era ACA subsidies. If they don't do so, do you foresee being back in this same scenario at the end of January where the government shuts down again when the bill expires?
Well, you have to remember that in the big, beautiful bill, there were cuts everywhere that affected low-income families, including a reduction in SNAP benefits from $6 a day for the poorest among us to $4 a day. So there's been so much betrayal. I actually have no good faith that we'll come together in the next few weeks and have a conversation around extending the subsidies so that small business owners and low-income folks could afford their health care. There's no plan on the Republican side. In the midst of that, we still have to be hopeful. We still have to come to work. We don't just run when things get hard. I am hopeful that in January, again, folks will think about the folks in their nursing homes. They'll think about the physicians who want to do nothing more but treat sick folks, that emergency rooms shouldn't be full, and that we're grown-ups and we should come to the table for the folks who are surviving on the margins. Those are not talking points. Really, that is our job. And, I oftentimes think about, we live in a multi-faith country. But Isaiah, the book of Isaiah, he talked to his folks about repairing a breach, that it is our duty as people who follow God to repair broken breaches, particularly those in government. And we have a lot of breaches to repair, and that's on us, not on the good people of the United States.
And last one for you, some lawmakers have talked about a bill that would outlaw shutdowns and not allow this to happen again, where the government even shuts down, so that the whole situation is prevented. Do you see that as something that could get your support?
You know what would get my support is a piece of legislation that says the majority party has to negotiate with the minority party. That's the law, because that's how we got to this place in the first place. There was a bill that was passed, it was signed by the president. There was a refusal on the majority party to have any talks at all with the minority party, and what the minority party said, we only want one thing. Take your hands off the 17 million Americans that you want to halt health insurance from. If we were there, if we had the opportunity to sit with Republican members of both the House and the Senate, we would have been in a very different place. So the law needs to be govern with both sides of the aisle. For both sides, whoever's in the majority, you have a responsibility to talk to your coworkers or your colleagues. That's the reason why we have a House, right? So.